This is Lynn Terry of ClickNews.com. In this video, I'm addressing a question about Twitter sent in by Lori Newman of ChristianHomeBusinessConnection.com. Lori asked, I recently joined Twitter, but I'm not seeing any benefit from it. Can you give some strategies on how to use Twitter effectively to grow your business? Also, how do you get involved in conversations that are going on? I see people answering each other and having an ongoing conversation, and I'm not sure how to make that happen. Before you get started, it's important to know your objective. And I would assume that you, Lori, want to connect with other Christian business owners and Christian women who are interested in working from home, since that's the topic of your website. And you want to view Twitter as a networking tool for two angles. Number one, so that you can get to know potential JV partners, and number two, so that you can reach your target market. So you want to set up your Twitter account using your name and include your website and bio, website address in your bio there in the settings tab. So we'll start here by logging in. Now, as you can see, when you go to my profile, this is my Twitter account, of course, at Lynn Terry's, twitter.com/Lynn Terry. But as you can see, when you go to my Twitter profile, here you have the web address, and the bio says blogger, super affiliate, and internet marketing advisor, author of ClickNews.com. So you can click the settings tab there, and you can change any of those things that you want to change. You want to start by searching for people that you already know online, such as people that you're connected with on other websites or publishers in your niche. And then you can just follow the people you find. So we'll type in Lori Newman, click the search box, and it brings up Lori Newman here, and I can look at the web address there, ChristianHomeBusinessConnection.com, and see that's the Lori I know. So you can either click the follow button right there on the website, or you can click the name and view the profile. And this will give you an opportunity to kind of look at their recent tweets and see if there's someone that you do want to follow, and kind of get an idea what they talk about and what they're interested in. If you decide to follow them, click the follow button there. And once you do that, then their tweets will show up in your timeline at the Home tab. So next we'll click this Home tab, and you can see an example of all the people that I follow. You can see Sugar Ray, that's Ray Hoffman, and Dave Delaney, and Danny Sullivan, and you can see each of their tweets show up there in my timeline under the Recent tab. You want to listen into these tweets and conversations that show up in your timeline every day, and kind of get a feel for the people that you're following and what their specific interests are. Now, if you want to reply to someone, then you simply click the small arrow to the right of any tweet. And when you do that, what you'll see happen there is it'll show up as a direct reply to that person. It's going to show up with the @ symbol in front of their name right there in your text box, and you just type your reply right after it, and that's going to show up there. Now, it's going to show up in the timeline of anyone who's following you, just like you see here. You can see this is a reply to Elizabeth. This is a reply to MMA prediction, so you can see other people's conversations. But it's also going to show up in the replies tab of the person that you replied to specifically. So you click the replies tab, and you can see an example of that. This is where people have specifically replied to me. Even if I'm not following them, their replies will show up here. So this is a great way to meet new people and start a dialogue with someone that you like to network. You can simply reply to them. So in addition to replying and getting involved and jumping into the conversations with with your suggestions or thoughts or recommendations, you also want to be a conversation starter. And you can do this by asking questions. For example, I recently posted there on Twitter, do you subscribe to videos on YouTube? If so, what are your favorites? I'm looking for some good video examples. So in this tweet, I'm looking for feedback and wanting to interact with my followers and get some ideas. And so when I go in to my replies tab, then I'll get to see the replies that people wrote to that particular tweet. So those are some quick tips for getting involved in the conversations and starting conversations, and how you actually reply to someone. Like again, you just click this arrow to the right of their tweet, and that will start the reply there. If you want to reply to someone that's not in your timeline, let's say for example it's Darren Rouse, as long as you know their Twitter ID, you can type the @ symbol and their Twitter ID and then type your reply. I'd also recommend that you read the two articles that I linked to above. The first one is a quick tutorial that will help you build a loyal following on Twitter. Not just random people, but people with specific interest in what you have to say or what your niche topic is. And the second article that I linked to contains a blueprint for using Twitter to gain exposure with your target market, to kind of network and build some valuable business relationships. So those are definitely highly recommended if you could scroll up and find both of those articles linked above.